Hello, my friends. It has been way too long since I have done a solo pod with you, and this one's a special one. It's my birthday week. So, on the 23rd of February, I will officially be, dare I say it? Dare I say it? You know what? Age is just a number. 35. I'll be turning 35, and I am so grateful. I can officially say I'm in my mid 30s. And as I reflect back on just all of the moments leading up into this birthday, where I thought maybe in my early 20s where I would be, now in my mid 30s is completely different. But you know what? That is God. That is the journey of life. We have this plan that we put together, and if you were like me, and I say were intentionally, if you were like me, you had all of these timelines, and some of those happen to match up with society's timelines until God's like, scrap, like, get all of that out of here because it does not align with what I have for you. Everybody's story is so drastically different. When you think about the age that you are right now, whether you're younger than me, older than me, much older than me, first of all, thank you for listening and being a consistent listener here on the It's Bigger Than Me podcast. And I want you to really sink in to ask yourself, what are things that you thought you might have accomplished by now? Some of those in God's timing, others of those are because you haven't taken action. There are both ands. Both ands. I believe there's so many people right now in this year of 2025, as I am recording this, that are so distracted. And the lack of focus is worse than it ever has been. Think of it this way. When you're driving a car, obviously, I love to record these podcasts in my car. Perfect place for me. When you're in your car, would you intentionally run a red light knowing that you could hurt somebody on the other end? Would you intentionally swerve into another lane? No. You are going to be focused on not running red lights, not swerving to other lanes, making sure that you maintain safe driving habits at all times. Why? Because you know that anything that you could do that's not safe could impact somebody else and, of course, your life and anybody else that's in your car. Like, we know the gravity of that. We see people get really hurt or even die because of nasty car accidents, because of either just pure accidents, people not paying attention, a malfunction. You never know. Why am I bringing this up? When it comes to what we are focused on with the things that God has put in our hands, like I asked earlier, what I mentioned earlier, where in your life, or what at this point, what are things that you thought you might have done already? Some are on God's timing and some is because you haven't taken action. So many people are not focused. Just like when you're driving, you need to be focused. That's why they say don't text behind the wheel, safe driving, 10 and 2, right? That's where your hands should be. Why don't we have that same focus when it comes to the calling that God has given us? The relationships, the things, the finances, the resources. Everybody has an abundance in some area. Now, people usually tend to focus on the lack thereof abundance, and that is what their focus is on. And I get it. But there's so much that you can focus on that you do have abundance in that you can give to others. Back to my point. Your focus, just like when driving, should be the same focus when it comes to your calling and your purpose. So as I'm sharing this on my birthday podcast, which will be airing a couple days before my birthday, I am reflecting on the times of, Lord, how focused have I been? Where have things taken my focus? Where have distractions creeped in? Now, there are a lot of distractions. The government, world events, family members, just so many noises and different things around us. As we're recording this, there's people doing yard work and you're going to see them right here in the window. And I tried to get away from them and there they are. That could really be a distraction. Literally perfect timing. However, at the end of the day, distractions are everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. But you get to have the choice. Are you listening to these guys outside and watching them, or are you watching me and you're listening to this message? How focused are you? So when I ask God these questions, how focused have I been? I've spent, I guess at this point, decades of really being disciplined on staying focused as much as possible. That does not mean I don't have moments where I want to crawl in the bed and not get out. Does not mean I don't want to wake up early in the morning to go to the gym, to have my quiet time. Doesn't mean I don't want to go to church sometimes. I mean, there's so many things that I'm disciplined in, and there's moments I don't want to do that. There's plenty of those moments. However, I know it all adds up. I know it all adds up. So many people ask the question. They ask the question, what is the secret to success? And so many people give so many different answers. And honestly, if you boil it down, it really comes to focus, discipline, consistency, good relationships in your life, gratitude, right? Gratitude is huge. I caught myself the other day. I was in the midst of a 2-day fast, about maybe 40 hours into the fast, right? And I am having a moment in traffic. I work from home, so I do not have to be in traffic. And I'm having a moment, and I'm just like, rawr to everything. And I said, no. What do we get to be grateful for? What do we get to be grateful for? And I was so grateful I do not have to sit in traffic every day. Hardly ever, actually. I'm so grateful for fill in the blank. I was talking about relationships, my husband, my business, the people I get to do life with, what we're building here in Kingdom Alliance, how we get to serve people, people get to build a lifestyle of things that matter most. The vacations I have coming up, the time I got to spend with my family a couple weeks earlier, my niece coming a month early. Now I'm an auntie to 3 littles. Like, so excited about that. Instead of focusing on the, I'm hungry because I'm fasting, I'm in traffic, grumbling like everybody else, I am sure, getting irritated, this guy cut me off and that person cut me off. I said, no. What do we get to be grateful for? It sounds so cliche. At the end of the day, it's a choice. It's a focus choice. You have plenty of things that you can focus on. What are you choosing to focus on? Again, when you're driving. Perfect example. Most of us, I would say, that are probably listening or watching this are drivers. You are not going to intentionally do something to hurt somebody else. You're going to be focused so you can get from A to B quickly, safely, and effectively. Why wouldn't you have that same focus on what God has put in your hands? The calling, the purpose. We are so blinded or crippled even by fear that we don't get started and we let everything else come into play. When people come to me and they're like, Molly, I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't curse at me. They say, what are you talking about? I'm like, busy is a 4-letter curse word. Yes, we're all quote unquote busy, but are you productive? So as I step into another season, going into my mid-30s, I'm looking at my productivity levels of, have I maximized the most of this day? I know I've talked about this before. I'm going to touch on it again. In order to maximize the most of your day, you get to find your most productive hours. Have you done that yet? I think I've talked about this on a couple podcasts. I found my most productive hours, what I can get done in a matter of 2 to 4 hours in that window where it's the most productive. I have found that I can do almost double or triple the amount as if I were to space it out throughout the day. I know personally, after 12 o'clock, my brain is not firing the same. My most creative hours are truly between, honestly, like 4 a.m. and 10 a.m., to be honest. If I need to create something, if I want to get my creative juices going and really let them flow, between 4 and 10. Sometimes you'll catch me at the gym writing something down because a bing, genius idea came up. A strategy came up. Something God-given came to mind. Because I am clear and I am focused. And creativity flows when you are clear and you are focused. And when you're connected to the Creator. That was part of the reason why a couple days ago I did a fast. Fasting brings vision. My pastor taught us that. Pastor Mark Francie at Oceans Church. Fasting brings vision. It's starving the flesh to connect deeper with God, of God, show me more of who you are and what you have for me and what I get to do here on earth. And honestly, the older I get, the more I want to do that. The more I want to do that, and I want to help so many other people do the same thing. So find your most productive hours. That's important. Everybody has a different set. My husband, he comes alive in the evening time. When it's dark outside, the minute it gets dark, I'm like, bedtime. Nothing for me. But I love the dark morning hours. That is my time. Everybody has theirs. Took me years to find it, but once I found it, I'm able to maximize that because I can get so much more done that I can allow to give myself breaks because I went hard in the paint. Hard in the paint, it's a basketball term. Like, you are going all out, going to the hoop to score. Like, I go all out in my most productive hours, and I get as much stuff done as I can during that because it's the best time. And I'm at my best. I'm at my peak. But there's always going to be things outside of your most productive hours, but I try to put the most crucial things in those hours. It's key. And you get to really maximize your time so you can allow breaks and not feel guilty. Not feel ashamed of like, oh my gosh, I should be working, team no sleep. Such an unhealthy trait. That is so 20s, not 20s. That is so 2000s is what I wanted to say. So 2000s. I used to be a part of a team no sleep. No, your girl needs sleep. Your girl needs sleep. Anyways, this is what I have for you when it comes to my birthday pod. So I'm unbelievably grateful and honored what God has done in and through my life. I know without a shadow of a doubt, 2025 is the year that many things are coming alive and coming to fruition. We get to ask big and bold, audacious prayers, not just up here, not just in our minds, but speaking it out loud. We get to believe for bigger and better things. If your life has been anything like mine, obedience after obedience, sacrifice, risk, like just going all in. Again, when I look back and I thought in my early 20s what my mid 30s would look like, it looks nothing like it does now. And I'm actually grateful for it. My marriage has benefited from it, relationships, the generational curses and bondage that's been broken off. Our kids, our future family that will come will benefit from it. The legacy that we are building, the legacy company that we have with Kingdom Alliance, the legacies that will come out of Kingdom Alliance as a byproduct of people being able to create freedom here. It's everything. It's everything that I've always wanted back then. I just didn't know. But I went on this journey called life, God equipping me in different seasons, some way harder than others, some testing my patience to no end. And now, as I am turning 35, as I am transitioning into a brand new year, I can honestly say I have more peace in my life than I've ever had. More peace. Does not mean I'm where I want to be. Absolutely not. Lord, we're waiting on that dream home, generational land, generational property to build on, waiting for the expanded family, waiting for so many different things. And I am at peace because His timing is perfect. I just happen to have that big feeling that's rumbling in my belly that it's going to be this year. Some big, big, big prayers, some big breakthrough is going to happen this year. And I'm boldly saying it. Boldly saying it. Do I know? No. Do I have a feeling? Yes. If I'm wrong, so what? Keep going. Keep going, because the alternative is you're not doing it with God. If you don't want to keep going, if you want to give up, you're like, this is too hard. The alternative is you're not doing it with God. I'm sorry, I don't want a life that does not have God in it. The minute I invited Him into everything that I have, including business, not just, Lord, I'm dedicating this business to you, I am giving it to you. And our business happens to have Him at the very center, hence the name Kingdom Alliance. His kingdom come. Alliance, all of us come together, which is His will, and let it be done on earth as it is in heaven. We just get to do that through our company, through helping people grow, to earn free travel, to explore all around the world, and to earn an income so they can be able to build legacies of their own, fund the dreams, fund the visions. Oh my gosh. Our passion is to create more Christian millionaires than any other company around the globe, because so many people deserve to have the resources that God wants to give. Now you get to become the person that can steward them. That takes time, but it's worth it, because nobody wants a dream given to them and just letting it slip through their fingers and it's gone forever. You want to hold that as long as possible, as long as He will allow. So as I'm stepping into turning 35, I'm so grateful for everything that God has done. And I hope from this message you got something from it, to just take a piece, glean from my experience, be able to step into what God has for you, because there's so much more. I believe that people are truly waking up that there is more, and they need to find their tribe. They need to find their people. If you're looking for that, please reach out. Kingdom Alliance could be exactly that for you. Go travel the world. Go grow. Go create a lifestyle that you could be proud of, that you actually want to live, doing the things you want to do. Doing the things you want to do. So I'll leave you with this. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. I'm sure you did, even though I didn't hear it. So grateful for you. And I would love to hear below in the comments, anywhere that you would love to leave it, what your takeaway was from this. What has been a blessing to you from this episode? And we get to have that ripple on for other people to see. Blessings get to ripple on. They're not just for us. So again, thank you. Love y'all. And we'll see you next time.